So today I am going to show how to carry out dissolved oxygen experiment. Dissolved oxygen experiment means how much dissolved oxygen present in a given sample of water by Winkler's method. So we have to find out the amount of dissolved oxygen of a given sample solution. So in order to do this, first we have to measure the room temperature from thermometer which is dipped into the solution. As you know, we measure the solution temperature as the reaction is carried out in the solution. So that's why today's room temperature is 30. Okay. Now for this practical, determination of dissolved oxygen in milligram per liter or ppm by Winkler's method, what are the reagents will be required? The reagent first, sodium thiosulfate, Na2H2O3, everything is marked. That should be required, which is poured in the burette as a secondary standard substance. Also starch indicator. And there are three types of reagents. One is potassium chloride, another is manganese sulfate, another is azide solution. Okay. So these are the reagents and also the 9 normal H2SO2, this one. So these are the required reagents to carry out this dissolved oxygen experiment. Again I repeat, what are the reagents? First, sodium thiosulfate, which is poured in the burette as a secondary standard substance. An indicator, starch indicator, 9 normal H2SO4, potassium chloride, manganese sulfate and azide solution. Okay. So in order to carry out this experiment, we have taken these two standard gel bottle 1 and bottle 2, everything is marked. This is called standard gel bottle. Now we collect sample water. Okay, these are the sample water. We collect sample water. Now what? We have to add sample water. How much? You see 100 cc. 100 cc sample water for each of the two standard gel bottle. Okay. Okay, so I have poured the solution, transferred the solution, sample water into the bottle 2. Similarly, I have transferred another sample water 100 cc into the another standard gel bottle marked as a bottle 1. Okay. So these are the sample water we have collected it. Now we have to add the corresponding reagents. What are the reagents? So first we have to add potassium chloride. Potassium chloride, each of the two standard gel bottle 2 ml, and you should add potassium chloride by using 5 ml pipette. Okay, 5 or 10, whatever. And before pipette outing, you should remember one thing. After pipetting out 2 ml of the solution, the solution should be added inside the solution. That is, pipette should be inserted inside the solution. As you measure the dissolved oxygen, if you add potassium chloride, okay, outside the solution, then there will be a error. So that's why first we have pipette out how much? 2 ml and pour 2 ml potassium chloride each of the two standard gel bottle. Whenever you add potassium chloride or manganese sulfate or azide solution, the pipette should be dipped into the solution. Okay. So this is the 2 ml. Now you see, this is the 2 ml potassium chloride. Okay. This one. Next, what we have to read the pipette. Okay. So again you add 2 ml potassium chloride. So bottle 1. Okay. Similarly, bottle 1. Okay. So it should be clean. So now we have added potassium chloride. Next one is manganese sulfate. Same quantity, 2 ml by using pipette, 5 ml or 10 ml. Okay. So first bottle 1. Okay. After adding the solution, you close the lid. Okay. Then again use the pipette, or you can take another pipette, 2 pipette. Okay. So it should be added in bottle 2. Okay. So it should be clean. Now I have added these 2 pipettes should be clean. Okay. Okay. The third one is azide solution. How much? 2 ml. 2 ml azide solution each of the 2 standard gel bottle. First I have added in bottle 1. You see, as soon as azide solution you get the precipitate. Okay, look, this is the precipitate. Okay, as soon as you add 2 ml azide solution you get the precipitate. Okay, this is on the precipitate. Okay, so again you use the pipette. So after washing the pipette, again you add 2 ml azide solution. In bottle 2, you see, look, the precipitate develops. Okay. So I have added 3 solution: potassium chloride, manganese sulfate, and the azide solution. Okay. Now next you have to shake the bottles. Okay. Now next, as you know, you have to do the practical by yourself. So that's why in your exam, during the exam, you have to do the shaking the standard gel bottle 10 minutes. Okay, 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 minutes interval. We just open the stopper. Okay, release the gas. Again, you close the stopper. Again, shake. So how I am showing this like this way. So why are we shaking? Because to get the precipitate of MnO2. So like this way. How long? 10 minutes. Okay, you are shaking 2 standard gel bottle for 10 minutes with 2 to 3 intervals, 2 to 3 minutes interval. Just open it, again close it. Just open it, again close it. Again you shake like this way. 10 minutes, total 10 minutes, but keep in mind 2 to 3 minutes interval. You have to open the stopper of standard gel bottle, then again close and again shake. Okay. So again you open it, close it. So how long? 10 minutes. So like this way. Okay. So this one after 10 minutes shaking, we get this precipitate. Now you have to add 8 to 9 ml 9 normal H2SO4 each of the 2 standard gel bottle, so that the precipitate gets dissolved. After precipitate gets dissolved, you keep 2 standard gel bottle in the dark condition, because there will be a liberation of iodine. After 4 to 5 or 6 minutes, take out 1 standard gel bottle from dark place, then pour each of the solution into the conical flask, then titrate. When the color will be straw yellow, then you add star indicator 1 to 2 mm. Okay, then color, when you again titration, the color will be blue. At the end point, color will be colorless. Okay, so again I repeat, I tell you later. First you add what? 9 normal H2SO4 8 to 9 ml. as soon as you add the H2SO4, you see the precipitate gets dissolved. Look, the precipitate gets dissolved. Just shake it. Okay. Next, place it in the dark condition. Okay. Next, another one is this one. Okay. Again, you shake it. You see, this one is also precipitate gets dissolved. Again, it is kept in the dark condition. Okay. So now I have kept 2 standard gel bottle in the dark condition. After adding 9 normal H2SO4, precipitate gets dissolved. Now with passage of time, iodine is liberated. So with liberated iodine gets titrated against sodium thiosulfate solution, which is poured in the burette. Okay, already poured in the sodium thiosulfate solution in the burette. Okay. Now in the meantime, what you have to do? Add 80 ml distilled water each of the 2 conical flasks. I have taken 80 ml distilled water by using this measuring cylinder and pour each of the 2 conical flasks. Okay. After 6 minutes, I have taken out 1 standard gel bottle and pour the whole solution into the 1 conical flask. Then titrate against sodium thiosulfate solution. What will be the color? When the color becomes straw yellow, then you add starch indicator 1 to 2 ml. As soon as you add starch indicator, color becomes blue. Then again titrate against sodium thiosulfate solution. At the end point, color will be blue to colorless. Then you note down the value. Okay. After completion this one, again take out remaining or rest of the standard gel bottle and pour another conical flask whole solution. Okay. Then again titrate. When color becomes straw yellow, then you add starch indicator 1 to 2 ml. Okay. As soon as you add indicator, the color becomes blue. When you titrate against sodium thiosulfate, at the end point color will be colorless. Again note down the volume. Okay. So this is the procedure. After 6 minutes, we take out 1 standard gel bottle and pour each of the one of the conical flasks. So now see, I have taken out 1 standard gel bottle, the bottle 2 from the dark place. Okay, and transfer the whole solution into any one of the conical flasks. Or conical flasks already contain 80 ml distilled water. For dilution, 80 ml distilled water by using 100 cc measuring cylinder. So I have transferred the whole solution into the conical flask. Okay. Then I have to titrate this solution against sodium thiosulfate solution. As you know, so initial reading is 0. Okay. So now I have added very slowly, drop by drop. When the color becomes straw yellow, then you add starch indicator. When the color becomes straw yellow, then you add starch indicator. Okay. Now becomes straw yellow, starch indicator how much? 1 to 2 ml. Okay. You see the color? Look, this is the color, fine blue color. Okay. When you titrate against sodium thiosulfate, at the end point color will be colorless. You see, this is the fine blue color. After adding starch indicator, so at the end point color will be colorless, blue to colorless. First straw yellow, then blue, then colorless. When the blue color become colorless at the end point, then you note down the value. Okay. So first titration will be done very slowly. With passage of time, liberation of iodine, which is titrated against sodium thiosulfate solution. You see, this is the colorless solution. So first straw yellow, then you add starch indicator, color becomes blue. Again you add sodium thiosulfate, gets titrated, color becomes colorless. Now note down the value. This is 2. Okay. So initial 0, final 2, difference 2. Bottle, okay. I have taken out another rest of the bottle 1 and pour the whole solution or transfer the whole solution into the rest of the conical flask. Same color change. But keep in mind, with passage of time, liberation of iodine will be decreased. That's why volume consumed of sodium thiosulfate will be less. So again you titrate against sodium thiosulfate. So starting value is 2, initial reading is 2. Okay, so this is the straw yellow color. Again you add 1 to 2 ml starch indicator. Okay, you see, as soon as you add this color, this is the fine blue color. Okay, this is the blue color. Okay, again you add sodium thiosulfate solution drop by drop. At the end point, color will be colorless. Okay, so this is the colorless solution. Okay, so value will come in from on 3.4. Okay, so initially first titration reading 2 ml, second titration 1.4 ml. Why the volume of sodium thiosulfate consumed less? Because with passage of time, liberation of iodine is reduced. So that's why sodium thiosulfate will be consumed less amount. So that's why second titer value will be less compared to first. Okay. So this on the titer value, we get the first for bottle 2, bottle 1. Okay. So for bottle 1 and for bottle 2, 2 ml sodium thiosulfate consumed. For bottle 1, 1.4 ml. Okay. And result calculation, everything will be discussed in the theoretical video lecture portion. Thank you very much.